Hello there, sports gamers. Welcome back into the channel. I'm Brandon Satterwhite, and today we are continuing our Diamond Dynasty 101 series. Today we're going to be discussing the single-player modes within Diamond Dynasty. Now, if you haven't played Diamond Dynasty before, you may be thinking, oh, that's the ultimate team mode. You know, it's all online, it's all multiplayer. Well, that's actually not true. Diamond Dynasty actually has a lot of single-player content within it for you to play against the CPU, and there's actually a lot of free rewards that you can get for your team just by beating the CPU in any way you want. You can get it all for free just by playing the game. And today we're going to be discussing all the different ways to get those rewards and all of the different single player modes. There's a lot to go over here, so let's get into it. Hey guys, real quick before we get into the rest of the video, I just want to make a quick announcement. We have a brand new YouTube channel completely devoted to baseball gaming. It's called SGO Dugout. Now it's going to be a little bit different from what you see over here on the main Sports Gamers Online channel. SGO Dugout, it's going to be sort of like our SGO Gridiron channel. It's going to be a lot more gameplay focused. We're going to be a lot of us playing the actual games that we talk about here on SGO. And not just MLB The Show, of course there'll be a lot of MLB The Show over there, but also other baseball games like The Bigs or Backyard Baseball or MLB 2K or whatever we end up finding. Right now I'm doing a series over there where I try to win a World Series in every Sony MLB game that they've made. I also have a video up over there where I show you how to use the random event generator that I built for MLB The Show franchise mode. I also have a video that I'm working on about ESPN Baseball Tonight for the Sega Genesis. So a wide range of games are going to be covered over there on SGO Dugout. And of course, we're going to be playing a lot of MLB The Show once the new game comes out. We'll be live streaming that on that channel as well as on our Twitch channel. So if you like baseball content, you like what we do here on SGO covering baseball games, and you want a little bit more, make sure you go check out SGO Dugout, and also make sure you follow us over on Twitch at twitch.tv/sportsgamersonline. Thank you all so much for watching. Let's get back to the video. Alright, so the single player modes are here in the single player mode tab. Now there are 5 different modes here, but there's one that's not mentioned here, and it's actually going to be listed under programs usually. So whenever a new bit of content comes out, whether it be a new Team Affinity drop or a new program, either themed or player or whatever, there will usually be moments attached to that program, and they'll usually be at the very top of the different tasks for that program. Now, moments are very short, bite-sized pieces where you're usually player locked with one of the players featured in the program, and you have some sort of goal to do. Like this one here, strike out 1 batter in 1 plate appearance, tally 2 hits in a game with Michael Conforto, hit an extra base hit with Jorge Soler, get a hit and 2 RBIs with Gleyber Torres. So they're very simple, very easy to complete, where you're just playing against the computer and you just have to complete the goals. Now, sometimes there'll be what's called extreme moments where the difficulty is much higher and the goal is a lot harder. Those are usually optional. You usually don't have to do those. You can just do them if you want for a little bit of expedited progress within the program. But these are usually the first thing you're going to want to do when a new bit of content is added. This is the first single player mode you'll want to come to get the first bit of stuff from the beginning of the program that you can then put on your team and use in the other modes to do stuff like these missions here. But actually, the most efficient way to do moments is actually to not go into the program. The best way to do them is to actually back all the way out of Diamond Dynasty. And here at the main menu, if you go down to, then you'll get to this instant action menu here. And if you click on moments here, it's a lot faster to get through them, because each time you do a moment, it's going to bring you right back to this same screen where you can immediately scroll down and go to the next one. If you do it within the program menu, it's going to take you all the way back to the Diamond Dynasty menu when you get done, and then you'll have to go back into the program, scroll all the way over, find the next one, find where you were at. It takes a little bit extra time. This is a little bit more efficient. So if you're going to do moments, do them this way in the menu that's in the main menu. Next up for single player modes, you have play versus CPU. Here you can just go in, pick any MLB team you want, and play a 9-inning game against the CPU using your Diamond Dynasty team. You can change whatever difficulty you want, and those percentages are the percentage chance you have of pulling that reward if you win the game. So if you do it on GOAT difficulty, you have a 2% chance of getting a diamond. Meanwhile, if you play a rookie game, you have a 0.21% chance of getting a diamond. You can also choose if you want to be the home or the away team. And this is usually something I don't really do a whole lot of in Diamond Dynasty. I would usually only do this if I have like a very large mission with a certain player I'm trying to accomplish. And so I'll usually hop into a play versus CPU at a custom stadium, high elevation, very short wall distances, so I can, you know, rack up a lot of home runs or stuff like that. But that's usually the only time I hop into play versus CPU. Next up, we have Showdown. Now, Showdown is one of my favorite modes. It is a drafting mode. So if you've ever seen anyone play BR in MLB The Show Diamond Dynasty Battle Royale, this is somewhat similar to that, but at the single-player version of that. So you do have to pay the entry fee to start a Showdown here. It's 100 stubs. If you've never played Diamond Dynasty before, 100 stubs is nothing. It's very, very small amount of stubs. That's a very small amount. It takes nothing to get 100 stubs in Diamond Dynasty, so don't worry about that entry fee. Just don't even worry about it, because you're going to get that back and more easily. Each time you complete one of these challenges, you get 50 stubs. So if you complete the whole thing, you'll get at least, what is that, 200, 300 stubs there, as well as that Spring Breakout Choice Pack, which could have either a gold or a diamond player in it. Now, what you do to do a Showdown, you'll go to start the draft, and then you will get 9 rounds, and usually there will be about 6 to 7 of those rounds you'll get to pick a player card like this here, and the last few rounds will be selecting perks. We'll talk about perks more when we get into that. Now, the thing is, with Showdown, you're only ever hitting, so you don't have to worry about defense or pitching at all. So you can just go for the hitters that you like. You don't have to worry about making sure you have a player that can play each position, because again, positions don't matter. Just get the best bats that you want in your lineup. And I recommend getting a somewhat balanced team. I know it's very tempting to go for the guys with a lot of power, but once you get into a Showdown, we'll see here in a second why having guys with good contact and good speed can also be very helpful to you. Now, here are the perks. So there are different tiers of perks. I believe in Showdown, there's silver, gold, and diamond perks. The higher the tier, the more of a boost you're going to get. Now, not all of these perks are the same. Some of them are much better than others. And this one right here, Hero Time, is without a doubt the best perk to have, whether it's in silver, gold, or diamond version. Now, it says you get an exit velocity boost, which basically means an increase to power in the 7th inning or later. Now, what you need to know about Showdown is all of Showdown is considered to be within the 9th inning. And that'll make more sense here in a little bit once I show you what you actually do when you're playing Showdown. But just know that you're always considered to be in the bottom of the 9th when you're playing Showdown. So this just means you get a permanent exit velocity boost. So you always want to take this one if you see it. Exit velocity boost with no runners on base is another good one to have, especially when you may not have guys on base when you're leading off. You know, try to get at that power boost for your leadoff hitter. But if you see Hero Time, always take it. Exit velocity boost while you're losing is usually my second go-to pick, Rally Time, because a lot of times when you get into these Showdown challenges, you will be losing to start them, and you'll have to make the comeback. So this is usually my second pick. If I see it, I will definitely try to get it. Now, once you get done with the draft, you go in and manage your squad, and what you'll see is you have 7 guys that you drafted, which means there's 2 commons left to fill out the rest of your 9 guys. Now, what I always do is I go through and I look down here on the bench. I look at all of these players that it's given me to choose from for my bench and my other 2 guys that I need to fill out. Also, make sure that none of your guys that you drafted are being hidden on your bench here or down here. Make sure you have all the guys you drafted in your actual lineup. And then what I do is I go down and I find the ones with the lowest speed and I swap them out for guys with the highest speed. So this guy here has 86 speed. I'm going to swap him out for Austin Shenton, who only had 24 speed. 63 speed. Is there anyone faster? There's a 68 speed guy. This guy has 25 speed. There's a 68 speed. Is there anyone higher? There's an 84 speed. And then this guy only has 64 speed. I think I can find one higher. There's a 68 speed there. And what I do is I take the guys with the highest speed that I found and I swap them out for the commons that are currently on the team, because if they're not going to hit for me, which these guys aren't with, 36 contact, 40-something power, they might as well be good base runners. So once you do that, go back through with the 2 guys you've put back into your bench, swap them out for guys with higher speed. Now you're going to go set your lineup. Put those 2 guys, those 2 commons at the very bottom of your lineup. You'll figure out why here in just a second. But once we have that, we have our lineup how we like it. Let me go ahead and set this correctly. All right, that's how I like it. And then we'll go in and activate our perks. You have to go to manage perk and actually make sure you have your perks equipped. And now we can go into an actual showdown. Now you can see here, it tells you what the showdown is. This first one, Showdown versus Horton. Difficulty is Veteran. In this elimination showdown, take on Cubs pitcher Cade Horton. Enter the game trailing by 3 runs with a runner on second and take the lead before recording 15 outs. And if you do that, you'll get a gold hitter to put on your team and a gold perk. Now, this is why having speed on your team, especially on the bench or as your commons in your lineup, is important. That runner that is already on second is usually taken from the lower part of your lineup, because when you go up to hit, you're going to start with your leadoff guy. So it usually takes one of your lower guys, and a lot of time it is either your 8th or 9th guy. So you want to make sure that if you have to have, commons or bronzes that you didn't get to draft on your team, that they're fast so that if you get a hit, they can quickly get around and get you a run. And the goal here is just to take the lead before recording 15 outs. So let's go ahead and hop into this one so you can kind of see what this looks like. So here we are, we're in the showdown. We do have a guy on second. It's Colson Montgomery, who is actually 7th in our lineup. So it usually takes from the bottom of that lineup. Sometimes it's the 7th, sometimes it's the 8th, sometimes it's the 9th guy. It really just depends. But you can see here down there in the bottom, it says 15 outs remaining. We are trailing by 3, and the goal here is just to take the lead. So once we score 4 runs, this game is over and we win. That's why having guys that can give you contact and give you speed and steal bases is incredibly important, because sometimes you'll be tied 3-3 and you'll have only maybe 1 or 2 outs left. Being able to move that runner from first to second or from second to third so you can score on a sacrifice fly can be the difference between winning and losing a showdown. And if you lose one of these challenges, you have to restart your showdown all the way over from the beginning. You have to go on a perfect run all the way through in order to complete a showdown and get the rewards at the end. Now moving on to Conquest. Conquest is one of my favorite modes in Diamond Dynasty. It's what originally got me hooked on Diamond Dynasty. It's a lot like Risk. So what happens is you'll start off on a map like this where you've got these different strongholds, is what they're called, with the team logos on them, and you'll have all of these empty spaces on the game board. If you press the X button on Xbox or the square button on PlayStation, it switches to numbers. Now, that is the number of reinforcements you and your enemies have at the moment in your stronghold. If you press it again, it'll go back to showing the logos. And there are 4 different phases in a Conquest turn. Now, there's the attack turn, and this is where we're able to move our reinforcements throughout the game board and try to conquer different territory. So you see I have 12 reinforcements there in my stronghold. If I select that stronghold, now I can see the 3 different territories that I can attack with my guys. So let's say this one here. So it's going to move 11 of those reinforcements away from my stronghold into this new territory, and it'll leave 1 there to defend that stronghold. So now I have conquered 2 territories. You see my territories now has a 2 down there in the bottom right, and I can just keep on doing this and conquering all of these unclaimed territories out here. And there are hidden rewards throughout the Conquest map. So you can see right there, we just found a pack there. So we got a pack for free just by, moving around the Conquest map. So let's go ahead and move all of our reinforcements. And then when you have no more moves, it'll move on to the Steal phase. Now, a Steal phase is one you can usually skip unless there is a goal for that map to steal a certain number of fans. You can view the goals by pressing Y on Xbox or triangle on PlayStation. Now, when you do that, it pulls up the goals. So let's see, acquire 50 fans, we get a show pack. Capture a stronghold, we get a show pack. 100 million fans, capture 5 strongholds, capture 10 strongholds, capture all the strongholds, and capture all the territories. So we don't need to worry about stealing any fans. Now, what stealing is you can press A and you can play a 3-inning game against any team on the board in order to steal reinforcements from them and give them to yourself. And you can see how many you get for playing on the different difficulties there. At most, you're only going to get 5 difficulties, and that's if you win a legend 3-inning game. I usually just skip this. Most people usually do, unless there's a goal for the map that specifically asks you to steal a certain amount of fans. So to skip it, we'll just press the start button and click skip to the reinforce phase. Now, reinforce phase is where, based on the number of territories you have, you'll be given new reinforcements, and you can place them on any territory you have that is connected to a stronghold. So since this territory here is connected by my other territories to one of my strongholds, I can put my reinforcements there. Then once you've placed all of your reinforcements, you go on to the move phase. And move phase, you can move your extra reinforcements between any of your connected territories. So let's say I want to move these guys up here. I can click on this one, go up to this one up here, and I can move all of my fans up there. Now, once we get to one of the enemy territory, say I want to conquer this Boston territory. So I click on it. Since it's not a stronghold, I can just simulate this game, or I could play a 3-inning game, but you only ever want to play for the strongholds. You want to simulate everything else. So this says I have 2 reinforcements to their 1, so we're just going to simulate this. I have a medium chance of winning it, and we do end up winning it. So now we have 2 reinforcements here. Now let's see if we want to go against this stronghold here. So you see here, it doesn't give me the option to simulate it. It only gives me the option to play. And because this stronghold has a lot more reinforcements defending it than I do attacking it, I would have to play this 3-inning game to win this stronghold on either Hall of Fame or Legend difficulty. However, if I go ahead and go to the reinforce phase, I can put more reinforcements here, and then I go back to the attack phase. Then now that it's a lot closer, I could actually do All-Star, and if I did that again, Veteran would most likely open up. You have to have a lot more than the opponent to get Rookie to open up. Usually I end up playing Conquest games on Veteran. But yeah, it's just the whole point of Conquest is just to move around the board, conquer territory, and just eventually beat all the teams that are on the board and conquer all of the territory on the board. Now, sometimes there will be certain goals on a map that say things like capture a certain stronghold on the first move, or capture 2 strongholds within 3 moves, or steal 2 fans during the playthrough of this map, or stuff like that. So you want to check your goals and see what they are. Usually they're just conquer all the territory and acquire so many fans, which you're going to do just by playing the map. But sometimes there are other ones. And like I said, there's a lot of rewards you get just by playing through this game mode by yourself against the CPU on whichever difficulty you want. So there's 1, 2 show packs, a headliners pack, another show pack, 5 show packs, a Ballin' is a Habit pack, and a deluxe choice pack, plus 5,000 XP towards the XP reward path. So that's just for this one Conquest map. As you can see, I've already completed a lot of the Conquest maps that have already been released, and I still have these 3 that I haven't finished yet. So there's a lot of Conquest maps. SDS has been putting out a lot so far this year, so there's a lot of this to grind if you like this sort of stuff like I do. Now moving on to mini seasons. Mini seasons is another 3-inning against the CPU game mode. There are different types of mini seasons, but basically all of them are a 28-game season of 3-inning games where you will play against 7 other teams. And at the end of the 28-game regular season, the top 4 teams will move to the playoffs, where I think there's 2 rounds. The first round is, I believe, best of 3, and then the championship round, if you win the first round, you go to the championship, and it's best of 5, I believe. Let's go into this classic mode here. And so sometimes a mini season will have certain lineup restrictions, like you can only use cards from a certain series or stuff like that. This one doesn't, so we'll just do our best lineup possible, and we'll take that into classic mode here. Now, like with Conquest, when you get into mini seasons, the first thing you want to do is go over to the goals tab and see what the different goals are, because the main point of a mini seasons playthrough is to complete as many of the goals as you can. That's how you get the rewards. So winning 5 games on any difficulty gets me 3,000 XP and a pack. Winning 12 games on any difficulty gets me 4,000 XP and a pack. 18 games gets me 4,000 XP and a pack, and so on. And then 300 hits with any player gets me 5 show packs. 150 RBIs with any player gets me 5 show packs. 10 stolen bases with players gets me a pack. 100 home runs with players gets me 2 deluxe packs. And then the repeatable ones are here at the end. They're for making the playoffs, getting to the semifinals, and getting to and winning the championship. You get that bundle there, 2,000 stubs plus 5,000 XP. That bundle is usually like a little token saying you won the championship, as well as 15 regular the show packs. You can also view the standings and the league stats here as you go through your games here. And I usually, once I get to about 15 or 16 wins, and I have secured my spot in the playoffs no matter what you can do is you can actually simulate some of these other games by just loading into the game, and then before you actually play it, quit out of it. It'll give you a loss, but it'll move you further along so you don't have to play that game. Now, I would only do that once I have completed all of the goals here and gotten the rewards that I plan on getting from a mini-seasons. You can see with this New Year, New Series one, I've already completed a good bit of the goals here at the back end, and I've gotten a few cards from it. Like, I got this Lee Smith, I got this Barry Larkin card, and then if I win the championship, I will get this 87 overall CC Sabathia card, as well as 5,000 XP, which is something I really want because I'm a Yankees fan and I love CC. And then last but not least is the newest single-player game mode within Diamond Dynasty, and that is Diamond Quest. Now, Diamond Quest is similar to Conquest in that it is a board game-style mode, but it's a lot different in how you actually play it. Now, first you'll want to choose which Diamond Quest board you want to play, and that'll be determined based on the rare and epic rewards that you can possibly get for winning that game. Now, what you want to do before you go into this is actually press X on Xbox or square on PlayStation, and you'll see here we've got our rare and our epic rewards, and we have these percentages below them. Now, if these are the percentage chance we have of getting these cards if we win the stadium challenges on these different stadium difficulties. The stadiums are certain spots on the map within Diamond Quest where once you get to them, you play a 3-inning game against a MLB team on a difficulty of your choice, and based on which difficulty you play on, if you win, you have that percentage chance of getting the rare and the epic rewards. However, if you lose a stadium quest, you lose all of the rewards you've gained in that Diamond Quest playthrough, and you have to start over from the beginning, similar to Showdown. So let's go ahead and hop into this Diamond Quest so you can kind of see how it goes. Again, you have a chance before you hop in to build your squad how you want. Now, this is not a mode that's good for grinding out player XP, grinding out XP, getting, certain missions done with cards. Because if you lose, you have to start all over and you don't get the stuff you need. So what you want to do is you want to make sure you have a really good team going in. I'm just, doing this for an example, but I'm just going to leave the team I have here. But before you go into Diamond Quest, make sure you have cards that you're really good with and a lineup you're really comfortable with. Now, once you get into it, it'll randomize all of the spaces, and you'll have to roll the dice. And if you roll a 6, you get a perk, and if you roll a 1, you get a penalty. We'll talk more about those here in a second. But I rolled a 5, so I'm going to start moving my little guy along it, and I already have a challenge. Now here, it's going to tell me what that challenge is. Save a game, do not walk about, or do not give up a run. It's very similar to a moment, and actually is a moment. And if you see down there at the bottom, win, increase rare and epic reward chance by 3%, with a possibility to increase 5% for this quest. So, those percentages we saw earlier. If I complete this challenge successfully, those percentages will all go up by 3 and possibly all the way up to 5%. For each of these challenges that I complete. And here we found some peanuts. This is the currency basically that you can use within Diamond Quest. However, you can only ever use it if you find the spot on the map called Coach's Cart. And we'll get to that once we actually do end up finding that, because every time you play a map, it moves. Now, the other type of challenges you can have outside of the moments and the stadium challenges are these mini boss showdowns. Basically, it's just like Showdown. You take the lead before running out of outs, and just like the moment we saw earlier, if you win, you increase your chances of winning the rare or epic reward later on. And so now we found Coach's Cart, actually, so now we can buy a perk if we want to. Now, the perks are similar to those that we saw in Showdown. Here we have some diamond ones, significant contact boost on the first 2 pitches of an at-bat, significant contact boost while behind in the count, or ludicrously increased pitch accuracy with runners in scoring position. Now, if you finish a Diamond Quest and you still have peanuts left over, those will carry over to your next Diamond Quest playthrough on that map, I believe. So that's why some of these prices are so high. It sometimes isn't possible to get enough peanuts to buy all of those perks, actually. So here I rolled a 1, so I get a penalty. Now you can see this one, significant contact decrease while losing. However, it expires after only 1 game. Now what you want to do is, if you have penalties, you definitely want to try and play some games or play a challenge or a showdown before going to a stadium challenge to try to get that penalty to expire so you don't have to worry about it. And a lot of times you'll have like a pitching penalty, but you'll play a hitting moment, so it doesn't matter, but it will still expire once you get done with that moment. So that's a good part of this game mode. You'll also get penalties if you play a moment or a showdown and you fail those. You'll be given a penalty. The one you had going into that will still expire, but now you'll have a new one for your next game. Now this is what it looks like when you get to a stadium challenge. You get to pick your difficulty here, and it highlights your percentages of getting the rare and the epic reward. You can see mine have gone down because I skipped over all of the challenges to get here just so I could show this to you. Usually these will be up where they were to start, or increased if you won a lot of those challenges and showdowns. I think when I played this map the first time, the burger one was up to like 60%, and then Bueller was like 52% on veteran after I played and won a bunch of the challenges and everything. So you're able to get those up pretty high. I didn't end up getting the Bueller, but I got Burger and the other 2 cards from the other stadium challenge. By the way, make sure you play all of the stadium challenges, because each stadium challenge has its own rewards that you win based on if you get them from the percentage. Also, when you win the boss showdowns or the moments, you can also be given packs sometimes. In some of them, it's like either a bronze or silver player pack, which are actually pretty good because there is still a slight chance you pull like a gold or a diamond out of those. In this one, it was unlockable, so it was a lot of like equipment and jerseys and stuff. They change it up for each of the maps, so just make sure you play through the maps as much as you can to get as much of the rewards as possible. And if you don't get the top rewards the first time, don't be upset about it, because you can just go back in here and that gives you a chance to win more rewards. Like I said, I didn't get this Walker Bueller my first time playing it, so I have to replay this map. But when I do play again, I'm likely going to get him because I was able to get that percentage up to like 52%. So there's a good chance I'm going to get him on my second time through. And if I do, I might get a second burger card. And since I already have one, I can sell that other one. And that's a good way to make stubs. Also, all of the packs I get for going through here is a good way to make stubs. I think Diamond Quest is really good. I've enjoyed it a lot. I posted a video over on our SGO Dugout channel showing you my first original playthrough of Diamond Quest and my initial thoughts of it. As I've played more of it, it's really started to grow on me. That's why this video has taken me so long to get out, as I wanted to play a lot of it and get a good feeling for it. And I've really enjoyed it, and I'm interested to see how they continue to change it up with the different maps. Like I said, they've changed up some of the rewards that you get. I'm hoping they don't keep it with just unlockables. I hope they give you the player packs as well a lot. And I hope they continue to let you sell the rewards that you get from playing Diamond Quest, because this is a really good way to make stubs if you need to, and it's really helped me a lot in getting through the live series collection so far, because I've been able to play this, get these rewards, sell them, and get stubs to go buy live series cards that I need for collections. Well, that's going to do it for this video, y'all. Those are all of the single-player modes that you can play against the computer on any difficulty you like in Diamond Dynasty right now. If you enjoyed the video, leave it a like and get down in the comments and let me know, what did you think of this? Have you ever tried Diamond Dynasty before? And which of these single-player modes interest you the most? Also, if you have any questions, leave them down in the comments and I'll make sure to answer them either in the comments themselves or in my next video in this series. Also, make sure you check out our baseball channel if you enjoy our baseball content, SGO Dugout. And if you want to catch us live, make sure you turn into our Twitch channel at twitch.tv/sportsgamersonline. Links to both of those will be in the description of this video. And remember, for all your sports gaming news and updates, stay tuned to Sports Gamers Online. I'm Brandon Satterwhite with SGO. Thank you for watching.